This is Brian Johnson. At 45 years old, he spends millions of dollars every year on a massive team of doctors with one specific goal: to stop himself from getting older. Even though he was born in 1977, his medical tests tell a different story. His heart currently functions with the strength of a 37-year-old, and his lungs have the capacity of an 18-year-old. This makes a sharp distinction between your chronological age, the number of candles on your birthday cake, and your biological age, which measures how your organs are actually performing. One is set in stone, the other is highly flexible. While Brian Johnson buys his results with millions, others have found the same biological shift in extreme environments. Researcher Joseph Daturi lived in this underwater pressurized pod for 90 days. Without any expensive pills or surgeries, his body also grew biologically younger by nearly a decade. These extreme cases prove that our biology can be reversed. But for the rest of us, can we achieve these results using the same natural principles without the billionaire's budget or an underwater lab? The biological clock is essentially a piece of software. By understanding how our cells process information, we can learn to send the signals that tell our bodies to stay young. To see how that software works, we have to look at how we stay alive. Your body is in a constant state of renewal, with your cells splitting into 2 fresh copies every single day. However, the process isn't perfect. Every time your DNA copies itself during this division, a tiny piece at the very end of the genetic sequence gets snipped off. To protect the important parts of your genetic code, your DNA has telomeres. They act exactly like the hard plastic tips at the ends of your shoelaces, stopping the essential thread from unraveling every time it's handled. But after decades of division, these protective caps eventually wear away. Once they're gone, the DNA itself frays and unravels. The cell stops dividing, and the tissue begins to die. This fraying process speeds up significantly when we expose ourselves to constant stress and inflammation. Visible aging is simply the outward sign of these cellular shoelaces wearing down. If we can protect the caps, we can slow down the clock. This explains why we age, but it doesn't explain why some of our organs seem to grow old much faster than others, even though every cell contains the exact same DNA. This is controlled by epigenetics. These are the chemical switches that decide which specific parts of your DNA are active and which ones stay silent. Imagine trying to save a seat on a crowded train. You put your bag down, which blocks anyone else from sitting there. Epigenetic markers do the same thing. They sit on a gene and block your body's proteins from reading it. An unhealthy lifestyle acts like someone randomly throwing heavy bags onto the seats of your most important youthful genes. It turns them off, causing your organs to lose their instructions and start misbehaving. Your daily habits are the literal hands flipping these switches. They dictate which parts of your genetic library remain open and how old your body feels as the result. Billionaires take dozens of pills every day to try and flip those epigenetic switches back to a young setting. But we can trigger many of these same biological defenses for free. Simply by finishing your last meal by 7 p.m., you lower your cellular stress levels. This gives your body a consistent overnight window to repair itself, rather than focusing all its energy on digestion. Physical activity also sends a powerful signal to your genes, but the type of movement matters. While lifting weights builds strength, it's sustained aerobic exercise that triggers the deepest anti-aging effects. We see this in the long-term data for Tour de France cyclists, who live years longer than the general population. Reaching a goal of 3 hours of continuous exertion every week creates a massive change in how your heart and lungs age. Activities like running, swimming, or cycling directly lower the biological age of your cardiovascular system by keeping those genetic switches in the on position. Every time you choose a colorful, nutrient-dense meal or commit to a long run, you are physically shielding your cellular shoelaces from the wear and tear of time. It is also vital to manage the hidden drivers of aging. Chronic anxiety and poor sleep aren't just mental states. They create a chemical environment that actively shreds your telomeres. Prioritizing a consistent sleep schedule and practicing meditation are biological actions. They help scrub away the negative epigenetic markers that a high-stress life leaves behind. The same biological levers that billionaires are chasing with millions of dollars, diet, movement, and stress control, are the exact same systems available to all of us. Every lifestyle choice is an update to your body's software. By changing the signals you send to your cells today, you take the power to reverse your biological clock into your own hands.